Thanks for joining Barre today. So glad you could make it. We're going to start by setting our posture, feet under hips, lifting up those legs in the hip sockets, lifting that rib cage up off the waist, shoulder blades down the back, shoulders down, feeling nice and strong and tall in our posture here. You can inhale, arms up, and exhale down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale down. One more time, feeling that spinal column lift. And exhale, staying nice and tall throughout the class. Today, we're going to be using a resistance band in addition to our paper plates and our small weights on our chair. So if you have one, you can go have it handy as we get ready for our workout. Today, our theme is round and round. So we'll be doing a lot of circles, circular motions, just working through our joints. So let's start with a handstanding hip circle march. So lifting up tall, arms out for balance, circle that leg in the hip joint, lifting that knee up high. Nice, getting that full range of motion. Leading with the knee, tall spine, not bowing forward at the waist. Great job. Circle, circle. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to come now into a second position, coming out wide into our second position. Arms out for balance. We're going to come down into a plie, rotate to a lunge, plie, lunge to the other side. So staying down here, nice and tall with that spine, engaged core, especially as we turn. Swiveling from the hip, so no movement at the waist. Nice. Great deep plie here. Beautiful. 4, 3, 2. Last one, and pulse this plie for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center. This time we're going to come into our first position. Right toes on the floor, open that knee all the way up to the hip. Left toes open up, feeling lifted all the way through. Inner thighs engaged. We're going to come into a rond de jambe to a plie releve. So point that toe in front, circle through, plie, releve. Other side, tendu, rond de jambe, plie, releve. Tendu, rond de jambe, plie, releve. Tendu, rond de jambe, plie, releve. So on that releve, give yourself some good power. Plie, releve, nice. Plie, releve. Tendu, rond de jambe, plie, releve. 2 more. Plie, releve, last one. De jambe, plie, releve, and down. Nice. Hip distance, soft knee, hinge at the hip, skier position, nice straight spine, no booty out, no booty in. Just a nice straight spine, roll those shoulder blades back, fly those arms up, head in line with the tailbone, not dropping the chin down to the chest, not craning the neck. Nice lift and squeeze at the top. Great job. Ooh, looking really good. Good lift and squeeze for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Get ready for our pulses. 2, Last one, stay up here, little circle. Circle, circle to the front. Nice, holding these weights up. Nice head alignment, nice spinal alignment. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. Reversing that little circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rising up. Nice. Good for those lats. Lots of work there. Let's do some big in and outs. So we're going to start with a big half circle, or actually one circle, just not continuing. Out and in. Feet are parallel, core is engaged. Feel those ab muscles keeping you aligned in space, tall and lifted. In and out. 2 more like this, and get ready for our little circles. Out. Arms to the sides, circle to the front. Circle. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To the front. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set to the back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Nice job. Let's come to our tricep work. So same skier position, hips parallel, lift up tall before you lean over, roll those shoulders back, lifting those arms up behind, trying to keep the hands above the booty, hands to the sky. We're going to do little circles, circle, circle. Nice open chest, not letting those shoulders fall forward. Circle, circle, circle. 8, 7, 6. Get ready to reverse. 4, 3, 2, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do a rotating tricep push back, full range. Push back and lift, 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 lift. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up here, little circle. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise up. Awesome. We're gonna come into our port de bras with weights. That just means the carriage of the arms. We're just gonna make pretty shapes with our arms, opening yourself up into your first position. Stay zipped up through those inner thighs. We're going to lift, open, up, open, center, and down. Lift to the center. Open, up, open, center, and down. Nice center. Open, up. Nice slow movements. A little bit of a soft elbow to take the tension off the joint and put it onto the muscle. Center and down. One more like this. Center, open, up, open, center, and down. We're just going to do the top half. Coming to the center, open, up, open, center, open, up, open. Nice. Keeping those arms nice and high. Keep them lifted, soft elbow, but try not to let the elbow sag toward the floor. open, and up. That's open and up, open and center. Last set, open, up, open, center. Bring those weights down. Let's work our biceps now. Roll those shoulders back, lifting up, resetting your posture. Glue the elbows to the sides. Hands are facing each other, so we're in a hammer curl type position. And we're going to do our bicep ovals. So those elbows stay glued to the side. Nice. So getting a little bit of shoulder rotation work in. Again, nice slow movement, especially on the way down, making those muscles work to bring the weight slowly down. 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse, down and down the center, out, back in, down the center, out, back in. Nice. Great job with these ovals. Good job keeping those elbows glued. Nice posture. Beautiful. For 4, 3, 2, last 1, in and out, keeping those elbows glued, hands parallel to the floor. Nice. Feel that strain on your bicep. 1, reverse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Weights to the side. Grabbing your chair or heading to the wall or banister or whatever you're using for your bar. You'll also want to have your resistance band and your paper plates or gliders handy. So we are going to start with a curtsy lunge and a rond de jambe on our glider. You can have a hand on your chair or other position, arms out, tendu that front forward, rond de jambe to a curtsy, sitting back with this glute and open back to first. Tendu, rond de jambe, curtsy, back to first. Tendu, rond de jambe, curtsy, nice bend of both knees, back to first. Tendu, rond de jambe, curtsy, back to first. Tendu, rond de jambe, curtsy, really sitting back into that chair behind you. Tendu, rond de jambe, curtsy, hips stay square. Back to first. 2 more. That glider. Reset. Arms out. Tendu, rond de jambe, curtsy. Back to first. Tendu, rond de jambe, curtsy. Back to first. Tendu. And shoulders lifted. Your spine nice and straight. Back to first. 2 more. Rond de jambe, curtsy to first. Tendu, rond de jambe, curtsy, out and behind. Out, cross behind. Sitting back into that chair. Still keeping the head and shoulders straight up to the sky, not bowing forward. For 4, 3, pulse, pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Grab your resistance band or tube if you have it, and that kind of compensates for the lack of resistance. Stepping, step, step, and step. Nice. Regardless, those glutes should be behind you. You should really be feeling this work in the glutes. Walk, walk for 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand it up. We're gonna stand here in the center, keeping that resistance band if you have it. Otherwise, it's a good balance challenge. Just lift that leg to the side and lift. Lift and lift, side to side. If you don't have the resistance band, just lift as far to the side as you can. Feet stay, those toes stay pointing toward the front of the room. We're not in turnout right now. We're in parallel feet for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let go of that band. We're gonna face the bar and do our plie series. So we'll be in our first position. So you can lift the heel open, lift the heel open, feel that turn up, plie and rise. So a simple demi plie, both heels stay on the floor, plie. Yours may be deeper, very deep, because that heel starts to lift off the mat. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna come into our grand plie. So staying on those heels as long as you can, then lift, come down, rise up, set those heels down. Again, tall, straight spine here, rising straight up and down, trying not to bow forward at the waist. We've got nice balance here from our bar. That helps us. Keeping the heels on the floor as long as you can, setting them down as soon as you can. Plie. And only go as deep as you're comfortable. If it's hurting your knees, just stick with that demi. 4, 3, engaging the core. 2, last one like this. Heels together, toes up, toes on the floor, walking those heels together in our first position here. And we're gonna pulse, 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 pulse. So you can face the bar. I just wanted you to see what my heels were doing, that we got our heels locked together here. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You can also balance for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to first. Rise, plie, rise, and down. So we're coming up into our elevate, plie, elevate, and down. Elevate, plie, elevate, and down. Nice. Lift, plie. And again, just the depth of the plie that is comfortable for you, does not hurt your joints. It should be challenging for your muscles, but it should not hurt your joints. Lift, plie, lift, and down. Lift, plie, lift, and down for 4, 3, last 2, and 1. One more time, rise up on those toes, walk the heels together. Finish off with that pulse again. You could do the balance if you'd like for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Awesome. Nice job there. Coming back to our glider, our paper plates, we're going to do some lateral lunges here. The gliding leg will be straight, gliding knee will be straight. Standing leg is going to bend. So we're going to lunge 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it in. Nice job. Get ready for the other side. Feel the work in those inner thighs as you draw that leg in. And for 4, 3, 2. Last one, draw it in, bring it out, pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. All right, last bar move. We're gonna stand at the bar, keep those things handy for our core series. Standing at the bar, we're gonna do kind of a modified rond de jambe en l'air, which just means we're gonna have one arm out. We're in our first position, sweep that outside leg forward to a front arabesque, circle it through to a back arabesque, keeping a nice height, keeping this hip down so we're not lifting the hip to rotate that leg around. And the height that you're at does not matter. What matters is that it's a sustainable height, trying to stay at the same distance from the floor throughout the move. Just 1, to the back, little circle, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, switch to the other side. First position, arm out for balance. Sweep that leg, that outside leg forward. Circle to the back, circle to the front. Keeping that nice turnout in your foot. So when you come to the front, you should feel like you're leading with your heel. Good core engagement to keep that spine aligned, head and shoulders lifted. Nice mobility through those hips, guys. Back and front, 4 more. 4 and front. And 3 and front. Ooh, my standing leg is feeling it. 2 and front. Last one. To the front. Bring it back. Get ready for those circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And done at the bar. Grab your mat. Get ready to work your core. We're going to start in our plank variation. Let me get this a little better angle. We're going to start with with our 2 gliders and a wax on, wax off plank. You can be on knees or on toes. If you're on knees, you'll fold your mat, have your hands right under your shoulders, regardless if your knees or toes. If your knees, nice straight line from the shoulder down to the knee. Try not to pop that booty. If you're on toes, same thing. Nice straight line, wax on, wax off. So alternating hands, making a big circle in case you are not old enough to get the Karate Kid reference. Alternating hands, making a big circle, working to control the roll of your hips. Wax up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Change the direction. So I was circling out first. I'm going to circle down and out, down, out. Circle, circle for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you made it. Put those gliders to the side. I think we may be done with them. Coming into a glute bridge, our one-legged glute bridge. We're going to do some leg circles. So start by lying on the mat, knees bent, walk those heels close to your glutes, palms on the mat, open up the chest, tuck the shoulder blades. Let's just do some preparatory full range lifts into this glute bridge. Feel what it takes to keep those knees parallel and not rolling around or trying to crash into each other. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up here. Walk the feet together so that they're kind of more toward the center of the body. Lift one leg up, circle out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch legs. Circle out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch legs. Circle in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Glutes high in the air. Circle in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch legs. 4 out. 2, 3, 4, 4. Circle in. 2, 3, 4, and switch. 4 out. 2, 3, 4, 4 in. 2, 3, 4 again. 4 out. 2, 3, 4, 4 in. 2, 3, 4, 4 out. 2, 3, 4, 4 in. 2, 3, 4. Foot down. Lift up and pulse, pulse, pulse. Feet together, knees together, thighs together. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly roll it down. Hug your knees to stretch out your spine. You can rock side to side. We're gonna roll over onto hands and knees for a bird dog position. Kind of a modified plank exercise. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Lift your right arm, lift your left leg, circles. Little circles, keeping the body parallel to the floor. Nice straight spine, lifting from below with your abs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. directions. Sorry, not legs, switch directions. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just hold. Close your eyes if you can. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Lifting through that supporting shoulder circles. Start those circles. Not collapsing into the shoulder. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch directions. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just reach and hold. Close your eyes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to our back. We're going to do a butterfly. So you can have your thumbs underneath your glutes, kind of right underneath the bottom of that pelvic girdle to help get a little more tilt in the pelvis. Extend the legs, head and shoulders lift up from the mat, pressing that belly button down while you do. Lift those legs, butterfly, 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 butterfly. You can have your feet in turnout, or you can have your legs just it's centered in your hip socket, whatever you like. Circle, just keeping this butterfly going. Butterfly, butterfly, sorry, I don't know what happened here. Butterfly, butterfly for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your head and shoulders only. We're going to butterfly up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the legs down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head and shoulders glued to the mat. They want to lift. We're on our way back up. As you get close to the ground, use your core to keep them down. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hover. You can lift your head and shoulders again. If you can extend those arms for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop. Extend those arms for a pencil stretch. Nice. Let's come into a resisted clamshell. If you don't have a band, that's totally fine. You will still get some great workout. If you do have a band, then you're going to put it around your knees. Excuse me just a moment. Put it around your knees. And we're going to lie on one side, holding onto the band. With one hand, you can put it up on your hip. You can kind of glue your hand to the mat, knees in line with those glutes open and open. Important to keep the hips straight up and down. That top hip, you almost want it to feel like it's rolling to the front, because that is going to put the work into the piriformis and the other tiny little muscles on the side of the glute that can plague us so much if we don't give them their proper due. Open for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Staying wrapped up. Switch to the other side. Switching hands. Getting the heels in line with the glutes. Hips stacked up straight. Lift, 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 lift. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Letting go. Putting that band. We are done. Time to do our stretch. Let's start with some firewood stacked logs. So this is kind of a modified half lotus position or sitting cross-legged. We've got our legs stacked. You can rest your hands on your legs, very gentle weight on this top leg, not pressing, just the weight of your hand. Pressing your tailbone down, lifting the top of your head to the sky, really feeling the stretch on this hip here. And you can stay here, or if you'd like, you can rock forward into a modified camel position. So we've got this leg is parallel to the edge of the mat, back leg is straight, hands supporting your back, lifting up. Feel the stretch here on the front of the leg. It's extended, small back bend. And coming back down, switching to the other side. Got your nice gentle weight of your arm. Pressing the tailbone down, pushing the top of the head up to the sky. And staying here or coming into a modified camel, rolling forward, front foot parallel to the mat, back foot back, hands on the back, up and over, tiny back bend, feeling the hip flexor stretch. Unfold yourself, hands down to the mat, lift up those legs, walk back, forward fold. You can rest your hands wherever they're comfortable. You can rest them on your legs, on your feet, on the mat, or you can do a yoga toe hold. Just trying to get straight knees. Feel the stretch in the calf and the hamstrings. And slowly roll up. Head last. Roll the shoulders back. Coming into your wide second position. Inhale, arms up. Exhale into a plie. Inhale up. Exhale. Plie one more time. Inhale up. Exhale. Plie. Gentlemen, take your bow. Ladies, take your curtsy. Thanks for joining Barre today, and I hope to see you again next week.
Thank you, Trina.
Thank you.